everyone, welcome to this special seasonal series class. This class focuses on the spring equinox or the vernal equinox. And during this time, we celebrate life and the rebirth. So after the long, cold, harsh winter, we see this as a sense of renewal, a time where we can wake up and find new energy. Symbolically, winter can represent a sort of death, whereas spring is the rebirth after that death. And we'll talk a little more about that throughout the class today. You will not need any props, and we'll get started. So we're going to start today in Shavasana, also called corpse pose. I'm coming down to lay all the way on your back, closing your eyes, and starting to release the body down towards the mat. We're talking about the spring equinox today. Spring being the season of renewal, rejuvenation, and rebirth. And this pose, particularly corpse pose, is symbolic of death, but also a new beginning. And death can be symbolic of a lot of different things. Shedding old layers of ourselves, old habits, outdated beliefs. Releasing those things that we no longer need so that we can create space to plant seeds of growth and new beginnings. So throughout the winter months, these are months of reflection, of taking time to really look inward and understand what we truly want. And as the spring starts to arrive, we feel more energy within our bodies and our minds, and that energy matches the energy of the season. And we can take that energy and start to formulate action towards those seeds that we planted earlier. We can start to bloom. We can start to grow. Because we can start to move towards the things that we really desire. So what is your intention for this season? In what ways do you plan to grow? And as you inhale, start to slowly blink your eyes open. We'll bend in the left knee, bring the foot down onto the mat. And then start to bring your right knee into your chest. Then taking your right hand, placing it onto the outside of your right foot. We'll start to lift the foot so that the ankle's on top of the knee and pull that knee out to the side, coming to half happy baby. During the winter months, we go into a type of hibernation. We may not be moving around as much as we normally do. So taking the time in this practice today to really open up through all areas of the body. And then start to take your right foot and wrap it around the outside of the left leg. And start to come into eagle leg twist. So releasing over to the left side, Right arm comes out towards the side. Your left hand can rest on your right leg. You can look over your right fingertips or start to close your eyes. Just noticing what you are feeling within your body, what sensations are happening in this moment. Gently release the inside of the right knee a little closer to the ground. And coming back to center, unwrapping the legs. So the right foot comes down onto the mat to meet the left. And we'll switch sides. So your left knee is going to come in. And then start to make your way into your half happy baby here. You can just keep your right arm out to the side. If you're feeling your right hip lift, you can place your fingertips on the inside of your right hip bone, just reminding yourself to keep them level. And taking your left leg and starting to wrap it around the right, making your way into your twist again. Gently releasing, softening the left shoulder down towards the ground. Sending your body little love notes of breath. Coming back up to center, unwind. Bring both of your knees into your chest, lengthening through the tailbone. You can gently rock from side to side, give yourself a little back massage. And then rolling over to one side, we'll make our way up into hero pose. So starting to sit back onto your heels. And as you inhale, we'll lift the arms up and overhead, push the hips forward, feel a back bend here. And as you exhale, release your hands down to the ground. Bring your hips back towards your heels. And then slide your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing towards the top of the mat. As you inhale, open the chest up to the sky. And as you exhale, slide the hands forward again and move into your child's pose. Inhale, lift all the way up, arms come up and overhead. Come into your back bend, open your heart. And exhale, release the hands down, pull them back as we inhale. Start to lift the chest. And exhale, come into your child's pose. Inhale, lifting all the way back up. And exhale, release the hands. Inhale, open heart center to the possibilities of this season. And exhale, child's pose. Just two more times, find your rhythm. Inhale, lifting. And exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, coming down. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, child's pose. And starting to lift the head slightly off of the ground, we're going to walk our knees back in line with our hips and lift your hips to stack on top of the knees. And then starting to release your forehead all the way back down, extending your arms out in front of you, moving into puppy pose. Closing your eyes. Recalling those seeds that you planted. What is it that you thought about during the winter? The things that you wanted to do, the places you wanted to go, who you wanted to be. And then how you're going to start moving towards those things during the season. And as you inhale, start to lift the head, and then place your forearms down and bring your elbows in line with your shoulders. So we're going to move through some cat-cows on our forearms. So as you inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze, and as you exhale, round through the spine. You start to move back and forth with your breath here. Notice how being on your forearms changes this pose. You'll start to feel it a little more in the back of your neck and your upper back. So if you tend to hold a lot of tension in those areas, especially during the winter months where we're not really moving a lot in our bodies, you start to feel some extra release here. Take one more cycle of breath. And making your way into your neutral spine, we'll come up onto the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. And you can pedal it out here. Really spread wide through your fingers, pressing to your fingertips and trying to release pressure from the wrists. Pulling the tailbone up towards the sky as we bring the shoulders down the back and up towards that tailbone. And looking up in between your hands, we'll walk the feet up to meet the hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes. We're going to come into some half sun salutation A's to help warm up the body and to welcome the sun back and its warmth. So bring your hands down to your sides as you inhale, arms rise, look up, palms touch. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release into your fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then down to your sides. Inhale, breathe in this new life energy. As we exhale, release what we no longer need. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And back into your mountain pose. We'll come into full sun salutation A now. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, release into your fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank. You can lower all the way down halfway or full chaturanga. Inhale into your cobra or your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking up, walking the feet up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release into your fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Back into your mountain again here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into your plank and move through your vinyasa. Looking up, start to make your way up to the top. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Down to your sides. One more time here. Inhale, breathe this life force energy into your body. Exhale, let go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release your hands. Step back into your plank. And again, move through your flow. You don't have to go all the way into the deep, full expressions of these poses. Body may feel a little stiff after the winter months, and that is okay. Listen to your body and what it needs. Looking up, walk up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes. What is my intention for this season? Keeping your eyes open, we'll bring our hands down to our sides again. Stepping back with your left foot, let's move into our high lunge. So lifting your heel off of the ground behind you, arms come up to frame the ears, palms face each other. And then interlacing your fingers together behind your back. As you inhale, roll your shoulder heads back and look up. And as you exhale, we're going to fold onto the inside of the right leg. Finding lots of balance within the muscles of the legs. Rooting through the four corners of the front foot. And pulling the left heel back behind you. Inhale, come back up to center. Bring the arms up and overhead. And then step the left foot forward to meet the right. Sit down into your chair pose. And we're going to come into a couple rounds of lion's breath here. So when you're inhaling, you breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, stick out your tongue and release your breath. And we're going to do this in our chair pose. As you inhale, breathe all the way into the belly. And as you exhale, bring your hands back behind you. And then release out of your mouth. Inhale, breathe into the nose. Exhale, let it go. Inhale in through the nose, arms rise. And exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, back up to center. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and move through your vinyasa flow. Once you're back into your downward facing dog, look in between your hands, walk the feet up. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And bring your arms back down to your sides. We'll move into high lunge on the other side. So right foot is going to step back this time. Find your balance. Feel that right hip pull forward to meet the left. And then your arms come up and overhead. Release your tailbone down to the earth. And then bring your hands together behind you. Interlace those fingers. Look up. And as you exhale, fold onto the inside of your left foot. Releasing and surrendering. Letting go of any thoughts of the past or the future. Just allowing yourself to be here and now. And as you inhale, come back up, bring your arms up to frame the ears. And we'll step the right foot forward to meet the left. Sit down into your chair pose. Bring the hips back and the heart forward. We're going to move into our lion's breath again. So inhale into the belly. Exhale, bring the hands back. Open mouth, let go. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and move through your flow. This season also reminds us that every movement, every second of the day is a new opportunity for growth, to start over, to be who and where we really want to be. Looking up, walk back up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. And closing your eyes. What can I do in this day to help me move closer to my goals? Inhale, blink your eyes open, bring your arms back down to the sides. We'll start to bring our hands back behind us, interlace our fingers again. Big toes touch, heels are slightly apart. We're going to sit back down into our chair, coming into a bound chair pose. Feel the chest pull forward. We're doing a lot of chest opening or heart opening today, helping us to bring new oxygen, new life into our bodies. And then from here, you're going to start to lengthen through your legs. Left foot is going to start to come back behind you, coming into a bound warrior 3. So you're going to pull through your left heel, reach through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, release your left toes to the ground. We're coming back into our high lunge. And then cactus arms as we hover the left knee over the mat. And then reach back up, inhale. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Bring the left foot forward to meet the right, moving into our mountain pose again. And then interlacing those fingers together behind the back, we'll sit down into our chair pose again. Just feeling this pose in our bodies as it is. And then lengthening through the legs, pull your right leg back behind you. Bringing your focus and your concentration in this moment on your breath, on what you feel in your body. And then your right foot is going to come back behind you. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hover the knee down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hover. Inhale, rise. Come back up into your mountain pose. Arms come down to your sides. Left foot is going to step back behind you again. This time, we're going to bring the toes out towards the short edges of the mat. And as you inhale, lengthen through your legs. Bring your arms up and overhead, palms touch. And as you exhale, hands come to heart center. Bend in your knees. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, release down. Good, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And as you inhale, lengthen through your legs. Your left toes are going to go sideways now. We're going to move into triangle pose. So shift your hips back a little bit as you reach your right hand forward, and then place the hand onto the inside or the outside of your ankle, maybe a little higher on your leg as your left arm comes straight up. Maybe looking up here or just looking to the side. Feel the shoulder blades come together behind you. Feel the expansive energy in this pose. And coming back up to center, we're just going to switch sides. Coming into a triangle facing the back of your mat this time. Hips shift back a little bit. Left hand reaches forward. And start to make your way into your triangle on the other side. Notice if your right shoulder is rolling in. Bring that shoulder back. Open the chest. Pull the chest back so that it's in line with your hips. Good. Inhaling, coming back up to center. We're going to point both of our feet out to the sides again, doing that same breathing flow that we did earlier. So as you inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, bend in your knees, open the hips. Good. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release down. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release down. Good. Inhale, lengthen through your legs. We're going to point our toes forward this time, and we're going to come into a forward fold. So hands come onto your hips. Inhale, look up, and exhale, start to fold. Bringing your hands down onto the ground. You can widen your stance. Your toes can come slightly in as your heels come slightly out as well. Release the back of your neck. And you can stay here at center, or you can start to bring your right hand to wrap around the front of your left shin. You can stay here, or maybe start to bring your left arm straight out to the sky. And as you exhale, release, unwind, and move to the other side. Left hand onto the front of your right leg. Maybe right hand stays on the ground or reaches up to the sky. And exhale, release back down. We'll start to lift halfway into our flat back. And then point your right toes forward. We'll come to face the top of the mat. Pull your right foot back and move through your vinyasa. Lifting your right leg up and back, bend in your knee and open up your hip. And feel that right hip bone roll up to the sky, finding evenness in both hands. And then start to lengthen through your leg, point your right hip down, and bring your foot onto the outside of your right hand. Keep your back leg lifted, and just start to rock back and forth on your left toes. Bringing lots of energy and movement into this hip opener. Then you can release that left knee down. Place your right hand onto the inside of your right leg. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, and then roll your heart up to the sky, coming into your twisted lizard. You can stay here, or you can start to reach your right hand forward, and then swipe it back to reach behind you, really opening up through that right shoulder. You can stay here, or you can start to bend in your left knee, maybe even grabbing your foot. And as you exhale, unwind, release, and we'll tuck the left toes under, lift that back knee, and we're going to move into Skadasana from here. So we're going to face the left side of our mat. Start to lengthen through your right leg, bend in the left knee. Maybe bring your right toes up to the sky, or you can keep your foot onto the ground here. Lots of hip opening today in our class, because we tend to store a lot of stagnant energy and tension in our hips. We don't move them as often as we do the rest of our bodies. So releasing, shedding, letting go of the things we no longer need. And start to bend in that right knee, come back up to the top, and we'll pull back into our plank, move through your vinyasa. Inhale, left leg rises up and back, bend in the knee, open up the hip here. Pull that right heel down towards the ground. And then start to lengthen your left leg, bring the foot onto the outside of your left hand, keep that right knee lifted, and start to rock back and forth on those toes. Notice what you feel in your body. Every moment is a new beginning. Every breath we take into our bodies is new life that we breathe in. And start to release your right knee down onto the ground. Left hand comes onto the inside of the left leg. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Open the heart up to the sky. Staying here, or reaching your left hand forward, and then sweeping it back behind you, opening through your shoulder, and maybe bending in your left knee and reaching for the outside of that left foot. And release, let it go. We'll start to tuck the right toes under, lift the back knee, move into Skadasana, facing the opposite side of the mat, bending in the right knee and lengthening through the left leg. Again, sending those little love notes to your body, showing kindness in all areas of your practice. Starting to bend in your left knee, start to walk the hands to the top, pull back, move through your flow. Coming back into your downward facing dog. And then down onto your knees. We're going to come back into our hero's pose again. We're going to add on here from the beginning of our practice. So start to lift your hips so that they stack on top of your knees. And you can tuck your toes to help you gain a little more stability here. And also to help you reach towards your heels. We're going to do some half camel poses here, moving back and forth with our breath. So place your left hand onto the back of your left heel. Sweep your right fingertips forward and back as you open your heart and push your hips forward. And then exhale, sweep the right fingertips forward and then reach towards your right heel as we do the same thing on the other side. Left fingertips sweep forward and back as we open the heart and breathe. And then start to breathe out. Switch sides. Breathe in as you move into your heart opener. Taking your time, follow your breath. Notice how we're opening through the front of the body, but also the sides as we sweep the arms back and forth. Creating lots of space through the sides of the rib cage, helping us to lengthen and breathe a little easier, helping us to have better posture throughout our day. And find one more cycle of breath here, bringing evenness to both sides. And make your way up to center and come into full camel pose now. So bringing your hands onto the backs of your heels at the same time. Inhale, push your hips forward and open the chest. You can keep your head straight or you can start to pull it back, opening through the front of the throat. I open myself up to the opportunities of the season. And making your way back up, bring your hands onto your lower back and start to sit down into your hero pose. Closing your eyes and just feeling the effects of this breath and of this posture. Blinking your eyes open, start to bring our hands onto the ground and bring our feet out in front of us. Bending in your right knee, We're going to place the right foot onto the outside of the left leg, coming into a seated twist. Right hand comes to the base of the spine, and your left hand can wrap around the outside of the right leg. You can also do cactus arms here. As you inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, twist, looking back behind you. And twists help us to release what we no longer need. They massage the internal organs, helping with our digestion. And unwinding, looking forward, we're going to bring our right knee to stack on top of our left knee, or as much as we can, rolling to the top of your right foot. Left toes are flexed. And as you inhale, lengthen the heart towards your toes. And as you exhale, start to gently walk your hands forward. You may not move very far in this pose. We're opening through the outer hip. A lot of our yoga poses open through the inner hip. So just taking your time to breathe here. Breathe into the pose, into this moment. What intention do I want to have for this season? And as you inhale, start to lift back up, and we'll switch sides. So your right leg is going to be long, left knee is going to come in, left foot comes to the outside of the right leg, and then make your way into your twist. Follow the movements of your breath. Coming back into your intentions for this season. What seeds do I want to grow? Now that I have the energy, now that I have the momentum to move forward. I'm starting to unwind in the upper half of the body. Left knee is going to stack on top of the right, or as much as you can here. Flexing through the right foot, rolling to the top of the left. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, start to gently fold. Giving lots of length and space through your spine. Where do you feel the sensations in your body? Becoming in tune with our bodies. Physically helps us to become more in tune with what we want emotionally and mentally, giving us that time to sit back and just notice, what is it that I truly want? As you inhale, come back up through center. We'll lengthen the left leg long as well and walk them up to the tops of the mat as we bend in both knees again and lay all the way down onto our backs. Walk your heels in towards your glutes, touch your heels with your fingertips, maybe gently rolling the shoulders underneath the back for a little more leverage. And as you inhale, lift your hips, lift your heart, coming into your bridge pose. Feel the tops of the thighs roll in towards each other. Feel a slight engagement of the glutes. And as you inhale, come up onto your toes. Exhale, roll down the spine. And we'll walk our feet out towards the edges of the mat. Bring your knees into touch. Close your eyes. You can keep your arms long to the sides. You can place your hands onto your belly, your chest, or both. How will you use this time of renewal in optimism. How will you bloom into opportunity? Starting to visualize in as much detail as you can something that you want to work towards, and the steps you need to take in order to achieve that goal. You need to imagine yourself walking through trails every day, building up your distance or your speed. Maybe it's imagining yourself taking a pen and placing it in your hand and starting to write in a journal. Imagine the colors. Imagine where you are, what you have around you. Notice if you are by yourself or with other people. How will you use this time of renewal and optimism? And on your next exhale, you can release this meditation from your mind. Lengthening your legs long onto the mat as you bring your arms onto the sides if they aren't already there. Softening into your Shavasana, the end and the beginning. On your next inhale, breathing a little deeper into the body. Ending our practice with our Shavasana, but also moving into a new beginning, the beginning of the rest of our day. As we move through our fingers and our toes, bringing your ankles together, arms reach up and overhead, full body stretch. And exhale, rolling over to one side. As we make our way up into our comfortable seated position, our eyes closed and our hands at our center. Thank you for joining me in this practice of the Spring Equinox. I hope it has inspired you to move forward and blossom towards new opportunities for yourself. The light within me honors and sees the light within you. Namaste.